Anytime you're starting to build a great football team, you have to make sure the quarterback position is secure. Duke has that in Terry Walker III in the class of 2026.
Hi, everybody. Dick Vitale. Hey, make sure you listen, man, to Locked On Blue Devils with J.J. Jackson. He's awesome, baby.
You are Locked On Blue Devils, your daily podcast on the Duke Blue Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Locked On Blue Devils podcast. My name is J.J. Jackson. Thank you for being here with us today on Thursday, July 17th, 2025. Locked On Blue Devils is your one-stop shop for everything going on inside the life of Duke Athletics. On today's show, we've got to talk about the new quarterback of the future for the Blue Devils in the class of 2026. It's Terry Walker III. We'll get to know him on the program today. A great conversation that I was able to have with him a few weeks ago, and I think he's going to be a big, solid, foundational piece for what Manny Diaz continues to build in these upcoming years. If you have not done so already, please be sure to follow and subscribe to Locked On Blue Devils for free, wherever it is that you get your podcasts. Be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and written review, particularly there on the Apple Podcast platform. They love those 5-star ratings and written reviews to help us out a good bit. Watch our show each and every day on YouTube. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. I want to reach that milestone with you guys. A special shout out to all the everydayers out there. If you are an everydayer, comment down below on our YouTube videos. Remember, we're always taking questions for Mailbag Monday and so much more. All right, without further ado, let's get right to it. Here is our conversation with quarterback of the future for the Duke Blue Devils, Terry Walker III. And here we are back on Locked On Blue Devils. Super excited to be joined by another class of 2026 Duke football commit. Now I've got the quarterback, Terry Walker III, kind enough to join me on the show today. Terry, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Very well. Thank you for asking. Excited to have you on the show, man, talking all things Duke football and your recruiting process. Let's start with this. Why Duke? Why did you ultimately commit to the Blue Devils?
You being a quarterback, obviously the offense and the offensive scheme is really important to where you want to attend school. So being able to sit in meetings with Coach Brewer and Coach Clark and Coach Diaz and just see how their minds work and how they see their quarterback playing on the field, and just seeing how much freedom the quarterback has in their offense. It's definitely intriguing. And then just the academic side always speaks for itself. You know, when people bring up academics in college, Duke is one of the top non-Ivy League schools that gets brought up. So, you know, that side kind of speaks for itself. So really it was just the on-the-field stuff. And I just really saw myself fitting in that offense where they throw the ball downfield a lot of explosive plays, you know. And then, you know, I think I'll be able to bring aspects to the field with my legs that they haven't been able to see yet. So
yeah, without a doubt, it sounds like it's the best of both worlds when you look at what you're able to do on the field and then the academic piece as well, like you talked about. So let's hear a little bit more about this timeline, Terry, as you've gone throughout your high school career. Duke's not the only school that was after you. You're a very coveted high school quarterback. When did Duke first appear on your radar? What were those first interactions like with the Blue Devils?
right. The first time I really got in contact with anybody from the Duke staff was during, I think, Thanksgiving break. I was down in Florida in Tampa with my grandma. We were celebrating Thanksgiving, and I can't remember exactly who, but I remember a member of the supporting staff had reached out and asked for my number so they can give me a touch. Well, actually, I might be lying. Because my first ever time interacting with anybody from the staff was Coach Watts and Coach Bauer. When they came down to the school to see a tight end that we had, his name Nazad Davis, he ended up going to Wisconsin, but they came down to see him, and I was just throwing for him. So that was the first time I ever interacted with any of them, and they were recording, and I guess they sent it out to Coach Brewer. So then during Thanksgiving break, they got in touch with me, and then Coach Brewer came down to the school, and I want to say early January he came down to the school. And then I think, because I just transferred high schools, I think my second day at that high school, he came down. We threw in the gym, and that was my first time meeting Coach Brewer. And then we went up later that month. I want to say maybe like the 11th, January 11th, we went up and got offered. Went back to a spring practice, I believe. Went back to a spring practice. Spring practice, like what we saw. And then me and my parents, when we coming down to get ready to choose, we went up one more time, and we just like it was just everything I was looking for. Is like it just seemed like a perfect fit. So, committed in person. One of the best feelings committing in person. So it was definitely it was a great experience for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a cool story of all the different coaches that have played a role in recruiting you for Duke. It's not just the head coach, Emmanuel Diaz. It's not just the offensive coordinator. And Coach Brew, it seems like a lot of different guys have kind of reached out and tried to make sure they sway Terry Walker to come and play football for the Blue Devils. On one of those visits, you got the scholarship offer. What was that like? What was that feeling like to receive an offer from Duke?
It was definitely amazing. I mean, it was at the same time it was it was surreal, but I feel like anytime that you have a conversation like that, it doesn't really hit you until you really like sit back and think about it. So when I got the offer, it was like I was like, yes sir, appreciate it. Like it means a lot. But then when you on the car ride home, it's like a 10-hour car ride home. So
Sure.
you got a lot of time. You got a lot of time to think about it. So on the car ride home, you're like, dang, like this is like. Man, it's a blessing from God. That's all you can really do is just thank God, because without him, you nothing. So
All right. Yeah. So obviously, you're from Indiana, and as you mentioned, geographically not the closest area in the whole wide world to
yes,
Durham,
sir.
North Carolina. There, however, like you've talked about, several other recruits have talked about, and it's been well known. Duke is a national and global brand. Like people see the D on your chest and four letters across the jersey, they know what it stands for and that sort of thing. So when you were able to go back home, and people around your area are saying, "Man, this guy's going to go play at Duke." That's kind of what's that been like? The folks in your area taking that in.
No, it's definitely been. I mean, it's people definitely take notice.
Yeah.
Definitely been able to get some gear, so been able to rep it on my chest. But people definitely taking notice. Really the first thing people ask me when they find out about that is like, what's my GPA and stuff. So that kind of speaks for itself with that. But it's definitely like people take notice. People definitely respect it. And really, because when I committed, I committed April 19th. Yeah, I committed April 19th. Well, I committed April 9th, and I committed publicly April 19th. And people like it. People always ask you about it, like why you choose there out of everywhere you had and stuff like that. And really, you should get questions like that. But it's the question. The answer never changes to the question. It's really the people in the building. Like the people in the building make a difference. And not saying anybody else at any different school had bad people in the building, but the people
Right.
in the building at Duke just connected on a deeper level with them. So it just made it
Yeah.
easier.
All right. You were talking about kind of a rush that you felt when you were able to commit in person to the staff on one of
Yeah.
your visits there. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So, my mom was having a conversation with Bannock, and then we had just got done with our meeting while we were wrapping up, we're getting ready to head back home. Just got done with our meeting with Coach Diaz. So Coach Diaz was up in his office. We were downstairs in the lounge area, floor 3, and the Yo Center, floor 3 of the Yo
Yep.
Center. We were just in there chilling, and then I was talking to my parents, asking them how they felt about it. They were obviously, parents, they don't, it's far from home, so they're like, I mean, if this is what you want to do, then we're gonna support you. And it was just what I wanted to do. So, went up to the coaches and just told them what I was gonna do. Coach Diaz came down from his office, and then came down and celebrated with us. And so it was a great time.
That's super awesome, man. Yeah, every coaching staff excited about getting their quarterback of the class, and
Yes,
they've
sir.
certainly found that in Terry Walker the third. All right, tell me about you, the football player, man. Like if people have never seen you play, they turn on the tape, they're watching this quarterback take some snaps and throw the football. What are they going to notice?
You're gonna notice like my playmaking ability. I think the first play on my highlight tape is a play where we were in the red zone. A play kind of broke down. I kind of bobbed with the snap, got out, escaped left, and then sidearmed it and hit somebody in the back of the end zone. So you're gonna see stuff like that. Like it's just and it comes natural. It does. Like I never like it doesn't force it. I don't force any off platform throws. It just kind of comes natural. So I think that's what you'll notice the most is like I'm really good off platform, really good on my feet. But some sites rate me as a dual threat. I don't personally think of myself as a dual threat. I think of myself like I'm a pass first guy, but if I have to run, then obviously I can run. So, but I think you'll notice the most is like my playmaking ability, and then you'll also notice like just seeing how like electric things can get Like when things are clicking. So that's the biggest thing.
Locked On Blue Devils here today is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. This is America's #1 sports book. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. We've got some great golf this weekend, another major championship coming up, and of course, all eyes on Scotty Scheffler once again. Get involved there. Also, the second half of the Major League Baseball season is set to start this weekend. Future odds and playoffs that you could find over at FanDuel. I've been using FanDuel to track all my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet ride into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm a part of the action. Are you new to FanDuel? Well, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel is a proud sponsor of Locked On Blue Devils. And Duke has had some success with recent quarterbacks over the years, right? I mean,
Yes,
you look
sir.
at what Daniel Jones is doing on Sunday. Riley Leonard's about to start his NFL career and had a great career there for Duke. Malik Murphy, a great season this past year. Now Darian Mensah walks in the building. How much of a factor was that, man, just being able to kind of see what the future of these Duke football quarterbacks look like? And also, hey, in the past, they've had some good guys there under center.
Right. Nah, definitely. I mean, and not even just what's happened at Duke, but also, with it being Coach Diaz and his staff's first year,
Sure.
seeing how they had quarterbacks in the past at the other schools they've been at, and really Coach Brewer, he's done an excellent job with quarterbacks, and the latest one being Malik, and then before that with Kevin Jennings, that was a big one. So
Right.
he's done a great job. And then actually, when I went up to Elite 11 in California, one of the people that was there was Malik. He was a college counselor that was there, so I got to pick his brain. After the first day, we had a meeting, and then it's like maybe like 1 a.m. We was down there talking for a good 25, 30 minutes, just picking his brain on how he liked it. He had nothing bad to say. Like, he loved
That's
his
really
experience.
cool.
What didn't work out how you wanted it to work out, but he, like, nothing bad to say. He had a great experience, wouldn't change it for the world. So it was great to be able to pick his mind. But then yeah, when you see all the quarterbacks in the past that they had some good guys at Miami. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but on the Power Side show, yeah, had some great guys from when they were at Miami, and then Kevin Jennings had SMU, and then Malik now. So it just shows you that, like, they're proven, they know what they're doing with quarterbacks. And so Darian, I have no doubt in my mind Darian will have a great year this year. Hopefully get up to some games to see him in person. So, but no, they definitely have some experience with what they're doing.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm excited to see these quarterbacks in the upcoming years, including yourself, and what they're going to be able to do to help Duke win some football games. So the fact that you'll be playing in the ACC, Terry, is really impressive. And Duke obviously has a loaded schedule each and every year there in the conference. The North Carolina game, that rivalry means so much to people. What does that mean to you now that you get to take part in the Duke and North Carolina rivalry?
It means a lot. It means a lot. And, actually, while in LA for Elite 11, my roommate was Travis Burgess. And so he's committed to North Carolina. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be really cool to get to play against him. His dad
What
and
are
my
the
dad.
odds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, his dad and my dad got to talk a lot. So it's gonna be really cool to play against him. But any game is gonna be,
Yeah.
special to play in. Any game is gonna be a blessing from God to play in. So just really the biggest thing is gonna be trying not to get overwhelmed in the moment. That'll be the biggest thing. But I mean, the high school I just transferred to also has a what I would say is a college like environment. Like, the town shuts down when Friday night comes. So it's like I feel like that'll help me prepare. We have a huge rivalry game, probably one of the, if not the biggest in the state, one of the biggest in the state. Definitely top three, but in my opinion, the #1 rivalry in the state. So, just getting that and then leading it on to Duke and North Carolina, it's gonna be amazing for sure.
Big time playmakers love the big games, and I certainly
Yeah.
think you're going to fit in that category. So, all right, I got to hear a little bit more about this recruiting class, right? We've gotten to know some of the guys over the last few weeks here on Locked On Blue Devils, but everybody's talking about Terry Walker and the work that you put in, man, and
Yes,
making
sir.
sure everybody in the class of 2026 feels connected. Why
Yes,
is that
sir.
so important to you? Why
You
do you
know,
want all these guys to feel connected?
right. I mean, I don't want it to, a lot of us really plan on going in and graduating early and getting there in January. So I don't want it to go in. I don't want us to go into January and feel like, well, man, like, I don't know these guys.
Who are
Like,
these guys?
yeah, like I don't really know these guys. So that's really the biggest thing is being able to go into January and just get off where we started. We had a great official visit with the commits. Dane, Aiden, Chadwick. And I'm missing one. I know. Oh, Sean, my guy Sean. So those are the commits that were on our official, and then Katie Cotton, he just committed yesterday. He was also on that official with us. Then we had guys like Legend Bay, Chase Geeter, who ended up going to Syracuse. So proud of him, happy for him. But it's just being able to get there in January and not have any drop off, and being able, like, our goal is to be the best class in Duke history. Like, when it's all said and done, be the best class. So, and that starts like from the beginning. So we want to get off there, get to the best start that they've seen. Like, we want to impress like everybody, not just people inside the Duke inside Duke's facilities, but people from the outside too, and the outside looking in. We want you to be able to tell, like, man, this class, they connecting on a different level than others. Like, so that's really been the biggest thing. We all helping each other recruit. Like, I'm texting defensive guys like, hey, can y'all hit this guy up for me? They texting me, having me hit some guys up for them. So, like, we're like, it's been great though. I mean, obviously, I don't know how everybody else's classes get together and get along, but I feel like,
Right.
from what I know, from what I've heard from other people, like, our class is one of the, like, most, the camaraderie in our class is unmatched for sure.
It's super cool to hear about this, man, because you mentioned all the guys that were there on your official visit. But yeah, I've talked to several who were not on visits with you at all, and yet they're immediately hearing from Terry Walker, right? I think
Yeah,
about some of
for
the
sure.
skill position guys that you'll be playing with. When you look at kind of those skill guys in this class that you're starting to put together and guys that you'll be handing the ball off to or throwing to, man, looks like we've got a loaded class of
Oh
2026
yeah.
for Duke.
Oh yeah, I'm really, me and Coach Brewer, like, that's my guy. So I really get to talk to him a lot. Him and Coach Clark and my guy Cheese Hadley Gregg. So they always tell me, like, who we trying to get, who we need to get, and the guys that we've needed to get so far we've got. So they always hit me up as soon as Coach Brewer. Early on when I first committed, like maybe 2 days later, he let me soak it in. 2 days later, he told me, send me some numbers, and we got straight to work. And it really, like, it's not even, I think I really just like doing it. Like, it's fun being able to, like, be a part of people's recruiting journey and be a reason that people want to come to a school. That's it's fun, and it's a blessing because, like, it's not just like, it's a 40-year decision. So when people telling their kids about why they chose Duke, they're still gonna be like, man, that Terry Walker guy, he really sold it for me. So that's like really one of the coolest things, is being able to be a part of that for people. Because, like, I know my recruiting process was fun, but if I had somebody, like, really egging me on to come to a school, I know it would definitely play a role. But with me being the quarterback, and I'm the one that has to be doing that. But the class we got right now is already, like, if it was all said and done today, it would be a great class for us. We got our running backs, we got Javian from out of Florida, and then we got CJ from Georgia. Both two great guys, gonna be a great 1-2 punch. Like, that's gonna be amazing in its own. We got receivers. We got Brody Keefe, Dog. We got some guys that have committed under the table that haven't really came out with it yet. So waiting on them to come out with that. We got Sean on at center. Great guy, amazing
Yep.
guy, like, amazing guy. I can't say anything bad about Sean. Like, he's an amazing guy. Just wouldn't want any other center in the country. Just an amazing guy. Then we got on the defensive side. Like, defensive side is loaded right now. I know we got a few commits not too long. We got Obina from out of Texas. He just committed yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
As well as Katie, D line. We got our D line is stacked because Obina's on the D line. We got Aiden, Chadwick, and Dane. Also Dane, which also Dane is might be moving down to Indiana, so might be able to get connected with him. That'll be cool. But yeah, we got a few guys that are under the table that we feel really good about. We're still trying to lock in with Legend Bay. He commits tomorrow. Hoping, wishing for the best, man. He was on our official. I have no doubt in my mind he had the best time with us. Like, that was we had an amazing time. Like, really praying that he comes
Yes,
and
sir.
completes the class. And then we got guys like Kayvon Consiero. He's choosing his commitment day is July 11th. Deshaun Spencer, his commitment date is July 4th, and then Tyler Ruxer is July 7th. So July, hoping that July is a big month on the offensive side of the ball for us. But feel good. I feel like out of those, I think 4 or 5 guys. I feel like we can definitely go if 3 for 5 or 3 for 4. Definitely, I feel really confident about 3 of those guys, and a few of them are still up in the air. But really hope, man.
Man, you're winning over every single Duke football fan right now. The fact
Yes,
that you
sir.
can rattle off all
Oh
these
yeah.
guys and putting the class together, and it's so exciting what the future of this program is going to look like. All right, I want to kind of wrap up a little bit more personally there with you. You mentioned it a little bit ago, but you've recently made the decision to transfer high schools before one more season. Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Yeah. So coming from middle school, I went to a school. I live in Fishers, Indiana now. I moved from the west side of Indianapolis to Fishers, Indiana. Went to Fishers Junior High, and so really I was districted to go to Hamilton Southeastern. But I had a lot of friends, growing up in like inner city, growing up in the Indianapolis area. I had a lot of friends in the Indianapolis area, so I wanted to go to high
Sure.
school with them. Wanted to go and finish. Like people always tell you, growing up, like high school best 4 years of your life. You never went. So I wanted
Yep.
to experience those 4 years with guys that I knew on a way deeper level than people that I had previously known out here. So I went out there to Lawrence Central. I mean, really a great team, like great people around, great players. Like we produced some great players in the past. We like while I was there, my freshman year and sophomore year, we had a guy named Josh Mickens. He originally was committed to LSU and flipped to Ohio State, so he's at Ohio State now. He was a 4-star end, I think. And then obviously my junior year we had Nazar. He ended up, I want to say he was a 4-star, but I'm not sure. He ended up with around 25 offers. So got to throw him the ball. Great guy. Wanted him to come to Duke actually.
Yeah.
So maybe one day we'll get to reunite with him. But so they had no problem with getting people exposed. So it was really, my parents saw no problem with like, they didn't see a problem with sending me there. So they sent me there. Went there for 2 years. Sat behind a guy named Bryson Luter. He's at Army now. Great dude. Taught me so much about the game. Like definitely wouldn't be here without him and his family. His mom's a pediatrician. A great lady. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite people ever. Like if I ever see her, like just always biggest hugs. Like great, big smile on her face. Like so great family, great person. And Bryson wouldn't trade those 2 years for the world. Like even though people tell me like if I probably would have went out somewhere else and started my first 2 years, it probably would have been even bigger than what it is now. But like honestly, like really wouldn't trade those 2 years for the world. Like he taught me so much about the game, and even when he did go down, I came in, was able to step up and perform pretty well. So then my third year, went out, had a great time, got to compete with my guys, and then really for this fourth year last year, really like with me living in Fishers, that drive to Lawrence Central, which is on when you put in the GPS, it'll say about 22 minutes, but like early morning traffic, it ended up being
Sure.
about a 35, 40-minute drive sometimes. So that definitely was a factor. And then I went to Lawrence Central. Like the real reason my parents wanted me to go is because my SIOs, um, they have a program that's called well, I don't know what the program's called, but another school that, so there's Lawrence Central and Lawrence North, and there's a school in the middle called the McKenzie Innovation Center, and you can go there and like they teach you like there's a construction class, a welding class, a cooking class. And so I really wanted to do the barbering program. I really
Okay.
wanted to do the barbering program, so I was into that. But then my junior year, they told me that it was gonna take up maybe 4 blocks out of like my whole schedule. So 4 out of the 8 blocks, and then I would have to finish out through my senior year. Like to get my license, I would have to stay throughout. I think July, stay throughout July when everybody graduates to like get my license. But with me wanting to graduate early, it just wasn't gonna be able to work out. So I ended up dropping that, and so it kind of like left like no reason for us to really stay with the drive being so long, so much on gas, and then not being in that program anymore. So like there's a school like literally I can really probably like I feel like I can look at the school right now. Like it's
Yeah.
4 minutes down the street. Great school, great program. Like they've put together some great seasons. Coach Kelly, since I think he's going on his 7th year. I think they've won the sectional every year but one. They've been to semi. They went to semi-state maybe 2 years ago when 13-1 lost in semi-state. But like they're honestly like it's a great program. I've gotten a lot stronger, faster since I've been there. mentally been on a whole nother level with it. It's just like the fine details in the program definitely like set it apart from a lot of other programs in the state. So Hamilton Southeastern is where I'm at now. And like I told you, like a college town. Like it's two high schools in the district. It's Fishers and the HSC, and like it's blue and red. I mean, it's when you go to the rivalry game, it's literally split down the middle, like all blue on one side, all red on one side. So, and I've never been able to play in that environment. I've only been able to watch it from that environment. So being able to like I already like that's gonna be special. I know that's one thing my dad's happy about because growing like we moved down here in maybe sixth grade. So we've been to about maybe six of the mud sock games, which is what they call the rivalry mud
Yeah,
sock games. And see, watching this, like who wouldn't want to play in this type of environment? But then obviously not choosing the high school, like so I wasn't able to play in that environment. But I know that was one of his biggest things. He always wanted me to play in one, so I know he'll be excited for that. But it's gonna be an amazing year. Like I have no question in mind that we have a state caliber team. Like we really have a real chance. So hopefully we can put it all together for sure.
that's going to be awesome, man, for you to get this experience, one final season of high school football before it's all said and done. What about other sports, Terry? Because everybody likes to find the multi-sport athletes that
Yeah.
then at some point in their life focus on football. What else have you played growing up?
Yeah, with Indiana being a basketball state, basketball, like obviously I played basketball growing up.
Awesome.
Was pretty. I mean, I'd like to say I was pretty
And
good, but
Duke's a
I just
basketball school, man.
yeah, but that's that. I went to the game where Cooper Flag. I went to Duke versus Notre Dame basketball game, and Cooper Flag broke the ACC freshman record, and that was
42
one of the
points.
moments.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
crazy.
one of the moments you just like, man, yeah, glad I played football because I wasn't gonna be able to do it. Like being 6'4", I would have had to been a guard too. Like, and so I couldn't dribble good enough to be a guard. So but I like to think I was pretty good. I played all 3 years throughout high. I mean, I played all three. I played basketball every year up until I skipped seventh grade year because of COVID. But
Right.
everything else, I played since like maybe 5 years old. Been playing up, and then I just stopped playing in January. So, but up until then, I was playing. I was varsity starter. Actually, I started the year off on JV because I told the coaches I wasn't gonna play. I told them I was just gonna focus on football, and then like 15 minutes before tryouts, I was like, bro, I'm just gonna do it. So I went out there. He told me, he was like, well, we already kind of got like what we already kind of got stuff going on. I was like, that's cool. He was like, if you want to play, you're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to start off on JV. I was like, that's fine. Like I'll do it. And I played on JV. I want to say I played 2 games, maybe 3 games max, 3 games max on JV. And I got moved up to varsity, and then ended up being a starter. We kind of turned the season around. Like we started off a little rough, turned the season around when I kind of came in as a starter. I wasn't really much of an offensive threat. We had some guys on offense, some dudes like some people that could score at will. So I
Yeah.
was more so just defense though. We defense like that was pretty much my thing. Like went in there, played a lot of defense, the hustle plays, and then brought a lot of energy. So that was really the biggest thing. And then so we kind of turned the season around a little bit. And then when I chose to transfer, I had to do it mid-season, or else my credits wouldn't transfer over, and so I wouldn't be able to graduate early again. So I had
Yeah.
to do it mid-season. So that was a tough decision for sure. But we won my last game. Actually, maybe like 2 weeks before I transferred, I hit a game winner against like the number 2 team in the state at the time. And so they ended up going
Baller.
to yeah they went up they ended up going to 3A state. They lost. They came up second in state in 3A. So, but it was like, I mean, basketball is obviously the thing growing up. Everybody in Indiana wants to be a hooper, have hoop dreams and stuff. But and then I ended up actually I played me and my brother. We played soccer for like 2 years.
Okay.
It was just that one was just really too much
Yeah.
running in the soccer, and then baseball. I feel like I was good at baseball, but I knew like I really couldn't hit. Like hitting was like ridiculously hard. But like on the defensive side, like catching the ball, that was never a problem. Like, so we played baseball for a little bit and kind of dropped that. Maybe I want to say like fifth grade, dropped
Sure.
baseball, sixth grade, dropped baseball, and then track. I picked up track in high school, like my sophomore year. I picked up track. I want to say. My sophomore year, I didn't really. I kind of like came and went. Like I didn't really take it serious, so wasn't really like I didn't run any races my sophomore year. Then my junior year, no, my sophomore year I did run in races. My freshman year I didn't really like. I went to like
Yeah.
maybe 10 practices the whole year. Like it wasn't really much to it. But then my sophomore year ended up running. I didn't do man. I'm like compared to how fast I think I am now. I did pretty bad then, but if I had to do it now, I think I'd be able to compete with some guys. But the track inflation, like I wouldn't be able to run no 9.9, so definitely wouldn't be able to be an Olympic track star. But definitely it was a fun experience, especially running with my brothers at Lawrence Central. Like that was always fun. Practices were always fun. It was never a dull moment with that.
Yeah, and I mean it's obviously helped develop you into the athlete and player that you are today. All right, let's end with this. You've mentioned your parents, you mentioned your brother just a moment ago. Tell us about your family, how important they are, because Duke wants to make sure the whole family is bought in on this decision to go at Duke, and obviously I would imagine you'd say you wouldn't be in this position if it weren't for the support and love from your family.
Oh
So tell
yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, nah, definitely like big like besides God, like my family, like the biggest reason I'm here. My brother, honestly, he's probably a bigger reason than he thinks he is. Like he sacrifices a lot. He doesn't like all the traveling that we've had to do for football is like definitely like it's taking a lot of money, like, and he
Sure.
doesn't ask for much. He just even sometimes he don't want to come. That's fine with me. He doesn't have to be there, but like he sometimes he doesn't want to come. He just stays at home, never really complains about it. Like, so he's definitely a bigger reason that he thinks. And then my mom and dad, that's like are my biggest supporters. And it's probably, I can only imagine how tough it is to be the parent of a quarterback in the stands of especially a high school football game. Like I know that's tough for them, sitting up there hearing people just yelling stuff that made
Talking
no sense.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, people yelling at you to throw the ball. Like, of course, like that's the job of the quarterbacks to throw the ball. So of course you're supposed to throw the ball. So I know that probably gets frustrating for them. But they're always there, front line, never backing down from nothing. Like if anything comes up, they ready to handle it. Like, so definitely like props to them. And then my grandparents, supporting the family, like my not my immediate family, but all my aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff.
They're
They've
just
never
as important. Yeah.
just as important. That like our senior night is actually our first game this year. I'm 100% positive they'll have a full section over there full of people supporting. So people talking about flying down and stuff, but it like really without besides God, like my family is the second biggest thing. And my family, my mom's side of the family, like we've been we real tight growing up. My dad's side isn't as big, but my mom's side is a pretty big side of the family. So we've been real tight growing up. So people like even before everything else, even before the offers and the stars and all that, the visits, people always believed in me. People always told me, like, that's really the biggest thing. They always instilled in my head that I would be able to do what I'm doing now. Like they never had a doubt. Going over to people's houses after a game, they'd be like, you gonna be a star one day. You're gonna be a star one day. And then now you kind of seen it come out and play itself out. And it's just like, man, like people, like, they weren't lying to me. And it's like the whole time they believed in me. Sometimes being young, you seeing guys getting offers in like eighth grade and stuff. You seeing stuff like that, and it gets discouraging. And then you go out to a family reunion and they treat you like you're just amazing. It's like, man, like I wouldn't trade, like, couldn't trade this for the world. Like I wouldn't know, like families like really wanted to. I love my family, man. It's like it's nothing but great people around, and people that's gonna be honest with me too. Like if it's something
Yeah.
I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing, like they're gonna tell me, or if a decision that I've made that they feel like I shouldn't have made, they're gonna tell me. They're gonna be honest with me at all times. And that's another big thing. Like don't have a bunch of yes men. Like they're not gonna just be sit there and tell me like I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. But they gonna tell me, they gonna hype me up sometimes. But then when I need to be humble, they gonna humble me at the same time. So, but yeah, definitely a bunch of like families the biggest. Like it goes God and family right next to each other. Like that's really the biggest thing, the biggest contributors to my success for sure.
That's so cool to hear about, man. And I know that they're very proud of you and excited to see you kind of take on this next step. Duke, super excited to have you play. And the fans are really fired up to have Terry Walker III as our quarterback of the future. What's your final message out there to all the Duke people watching about just yourself and the future of this program and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be special, man. It's like I really can't compare it to anything else that you guys have seen in Duke history. I feel like really, like, realistically, like Aiden started the vision. Like, man, we got a real chance to be like really special. Talking to coaches and stuff, talking to Coach Brewer, Coach Diaz, Coach Clark. Talking to them, like, man, they believe in us. Like, they believe in us down. Like they really believe in us. Like they have no doubt in the world that we're the class. Like we really gotta. I mean, I mean, they've already have great season so far. You know, went 9-4 last
Yep.
year. I'm not exactly sure what the record was the season before that, but I know it was a winning record. So I mean, we had great success in the past, but like I feel like our class and the class prior, you know, signing the biggest class in history, and then our class, I feel like we'll sign. Hopefully, will be the best class in history. I feel like we'll be able to get us over that little hump that we need to get to the playoffs. Now it's a 12-team playoff. We got a real chance, you know, win the conference. I feel like we should be able to win the conference all 3 to 4 years while we're there. And I mean, we coming, man. It's gonna be special. And as long as everybody just stick by us, we gonna stick by y'all and prove y'all right every time. So
That's incredible. We can't wait. All right, man. Plug your socials. How can people follow you?
yeah, I'm on Instagram at t3.walker. I think Twitter is as well as the same thing, or t3_walker. And then I can't remember my TikTok. I think my TikTok is like that guy _Terry. But yeah, I'm out there. You'll be able to find. It shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard for sure.
Terry, this was awesome, man. We'll do this again soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's Terry Walker III here with us on Locked On Blue Devils. That'll do it for our show here today. Again, thank you to Terry Walker III for joining us on the program. It has been so much fun getting to know several of these recruits, and we finally got to hear the quarterback's story. We'll be back with you again soon. As always, go Duke. I'll talk to you later. My name is JJ Jackson. Thank you, and good day.